Hey there friends, Steve Putaski here, founder of the Luxus Group. Thanks very much for being with me today. You'll see with this backdrop, we are here on a destination spotlight. I set up the camera so you can actually see the ocean in the background on beautiful Southern California coast. Really excited about today's spotlight because we're in a really cool place of the world in North America here in Southern California, and to talk a bit about this particular area and what it means to own real estate, short-term rent, invest, all sorts of different things, because these beach cities and these coast cities are remarkable. And like any beach city, there's only a fixed amount of beaches in the world, in particular these areas. So as the product and the inventory is finite, there's a lot of chance for price escalation, and needs really intelligent investment decisions around this because of that finite inventory. Picking the right property in the right location can help generate a better return, generate better growth, and potentially, of course, generate a better experience for you and your family. But before we dive in, if it's your first time to the show, thank you so much for being here today. If you want to know more about me or my why or what we're here doing this whole thing about, go to the first episode. It explains our passion about delivering education, no cost to consumer information that allows you to become better at buying and selling and managing vacation properties. So whether you own a vacation home and you're looking to sell it or activate it for revenue, or you're just trying to find the most perfect place for you and your family to own something where you can live and enjoy as a family, check out this channel. Go back and look at previous videos. There's all sorts of good videos on there that will give you, hopefully, intel. And this intel will arm you with the right tools you need to make informed decisions when you're making these 6, 7, or 8-figure investment decisions. And because they're so significant financially, we really just want to make sure people help make the right ones. It's so frustrating because there's a lot of bad information out there, and for us, we have no benefit of this. This is purely for our why. We're trying to give back this information through our experience of doing this the past 15 years, which is something we really, really love to do. So thank you very much for being here, and of course, if you're a recurring guest, as always, I appreciate you, and let's get on with the show. Now, before we dive into this, we're going to show a map on the screen here. The map will identify what I'm referencing to as Southern California. I think there's two sections of Southern California, the way I look at it through a vacation and property lens. There is the Los Angeles area, so that would kind of be from Los Angeles north to Malibu and south to Dana Point. And then you have south of the military base, San Clemente, where you get down from Oceanside, which is where I am, or very close to, down to the Mexican border in San Diego. So there's two sections. We're not covering the Los Angeles area. There's just too much simply to cover on this amazing area of real estate. Where I am covering, I'm in Carlsbad, California right now. So I'm going to cover from this Carlsbad Oceanside, which is the north point of the most southern edge of California coast, down to San Diego. Now, as there's lots of cities in there. You got Oceanside, Carlsbad, Del Mar, La Jolla, Mission Beach, San Diego. There's lots more in between, and even more and more inland. Those are just the coastal cities. There is so much real estate around here that is this is going to need multiple shows, probably over multiple years, in order to cover all these markets independently. Today's purpose, though, is just to give you a high-level rundown of what to expect coming here, so you get orientated, because it can be overwhelming. With that many different cities, where do you even start? They all have beautiful beaches. They all have their own unique cultures. They all have a reason to be there. So we'll just give a very high-level 30,000-foot view of this area today. That will give you, hopefully, a way to focus in on what's most important to you. Let's start in the southern edge, San Diego. That's obviously the big city. Everyone thinks about San Diego. It's got the most perfect climate, consistent year-round climate. It's an absolutely beautiful city, unbelievable coast, huge economy. It's just all the restaurants and nightlife and everything you could want. San Diego, amazing spot. Now, San Diego, there's like any big city, there's dozens of different real estate options, from high-rise apartments to oceanfront to inland and everything in between. But because the city itself is located right on the coast, you're not generally going to be buying oceanfront homes in San Diego. That's where you're going to be buying like city properties if you're going to live and work and play in the city. If you're thinking coastal properties, beach properties, you're going to go just a little bit north. You're going to work your way into Mission Beach and La Jolla, and that's when you go from these high-rises and effectively big cities. It's landlocked. Think of San Diego as landlocked on the south for Mexico and the west for the ocean. So they have a fixed building pocket they could build there, and then north you bump your way into Mission Beach Bay as you work your way north. So they can only really go up there or east. There's no way to go west or south anymore because it's filled up. So you're not thinking of San Diego through the lens probably of a vacation property. If you're thinking vacation property, you're likely thinking San Diego north. Again, Mission Beach, La Jolla, Encinitas as you work your way up the coast to work closer to where I am today here in Carlsbad. As you think about real estate within those areas, those individual cities, there's a few things to think about. First off is being oceanfront is going to be very expensive. It's just a reality no matter where you are in the world, but you take a place like California where there's tremendous wealth, generational wealth, buying right on the ocean is going to be very, very expensive. But it is doable. And there are a few markets to think about in terms of buying real estate on the ocean. If you don't want to spend $6 million plus, if you kind of want to be in that 1 to 3, 4 million range, there's a couple areas I'd look at. Number one, Mission Beach. Mission Beach has an amazing coastline, like phenomenal. I believe it's 3 miles of uninterrupted sand, 4 miles of this huge boardwalk and a beautiful bay, and it's an unbelievable place. And we've owned real estate there for a long time, so we're familiar with it. It's had a long history of vacation rentals in that space. Used to be kind of a college place where people go to party from UCL or University of Southern California, USC. But as people have been buying these beach shacks and converting them to become multi-million-dollar places, it's really kept some amazing charm. Still has that nightlife and that fun, but not to the point where it's party haven anymore. Families are there, and again, you got remarkable beach to play volleyball and swim and surf, and you see dolphins swimming in the waves. Makes for a really, really cool spot to go to. Now, Mission Beach, this is really, really important. We talk about the short-term vacation rentals, and if you want to know more about that, go back to the one episode I put on how Airbnb changed short-term vacation rentals forever. It'll pop up on the screen. That will give you the context into which I'm about to dive into here around short-term rentals here. Critically important. Again, if you're just buying a home for your own personal use and you don't plan on renting it out, then ignore this part. But if you think, you know what, I'd like to have the ability to create some revenue from this asset I'm investing in. I'd like to be able to rent it out on a short-term basis. Again, short-term rentals are generally defined as rentals of less than 30 days. Long-term rentals are 30 days or more. So if you are thinking of doing this, hear this part out and be prepared to do some research because it continues to evolve and change. Now, first off, San Diego area, they're in the process. If I think about what all these major cities, again, that particular show will give you the details, but these cities are going through regulation, and they're regulating how people can rent their vacation homes because look at this place. It's absolutely stunning here in the middle of April. People want to be here, so they rent them out. And that competes with the hotels, and that competes with the neighbors, and that competes with these places. And it's not healthy if every single residential home is vacation rented. So regulation is required. But to what extreme the city councils force regulation against people that short-term rent is the question. And every single market has its own level of comfort, and its own level of regulation, and its own level of strictness on how people can rent their homes. So San Diego right now, here's an interesting one, is they really want to heavily regulate it. So they're looking at about 1% of total single-family homes in the area can be rented out as a short-term rental. So they only give licenses up to 1% of the total population of homes, their total inventory of homes. So in the case of San Diego, it's around 5,000 homes. That's not a lot of licenses. And because homes are further regulated by the HOAs that they're in, because if you're with a HOA or homeowners association, the homeowners association can regulate it as well. So that's further regulation. So you only have 5,000 homes to pick from in a pool of non-HOA governed places. So the apartments you see downtown, luxury apartments downtown San Diego, aren't going to qualify more times than not. Private golf club communities aren't going to qualify because they're governed by homeowners associations. For the licenses that are governed by San Diego, only 1% are going to be allowed as licenses, which highly limits the inventory. So there's an opportunity here. If you can find the right inventory and you can acquire a short-term rental license and keep that rental license in perpetuity, that could have a huge value because this is not yet passed. It was supposed to go for vote, I believe, in February this year, and they've deferred the vote. I'm not sure why. There's always controversy around these votes when they're voting on something that creates such massive disruption, even through trying to create regulation. But it's going to disrupt Airbnb hosts and short-term rental hosts, and it creates frustration and usually some controversy. So my guess is they delayed it for a reason, whether there's a new city council being elected or something, but it is likely it's going to pass this year, and that will create the new governance structure for short-term rentals in San Diego. So that's one extreme, but it's really important to know, because if you think about buying in San Diego itself, I would go hunting now, find the place, get the license if you can get it, or acquire a home with the license, because the lack of inventory that will come online for this very popular global destination is going to allow you potentially to drive a higher return because of just lack of supply and high demand. Now, if we shift just a little further north into Mission Beach, you have another example. As I referenced before, it's a place where you can get those properties between 1 to 3, 4 million on the beach, or really, really close to the beach. Because Mission Beach has this really strong history of vacation rentals, they're allowing, it looks like, up to 30% of total single family homes there in that area to be allowed short-term rental licenses. So that's a much more significant amount. Now, neat thing with Mission Beach, there's not a lot of apartments with HOAs. There's some buildings that have 4, 6, or 8, but there's not any high rises or anything like that. And so there's going to be a lot more options in Mission Beach to choose from, because again of that history there. Less people live there, more people vacation Mission Beach. Maybe a good way to look at it. Again, I'm a big fan of Mission Beach. I referenced it earlier, as I think you can still get in at reasonable price points. And it's just a remarkable spot because you have water on both sides. You can actually have beachfront on the ocean side, so we'll call it oceanfront. Then you can have beachfront on the lagoon side, which is swimmable, sailable, paddleboardable. It's not a word, but it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So on the map here, I'm sure they'll show a picture of both sides of it. And that's why I really love that. Proximity to the airport in San Diego. You've got all the activity, the biking trails, the loop around, the paddleboarding. Really popular spot for triathlons. I believe there's one of the spot, maybe the first World Triathlon Championship was in Mission Beach. Could be wrong, but I know it's been there a number of times. And then of course you got all the ocean activities as well. Boating, of course, because you got the marina there in the lagoon. So worth checking out, amazing spot, big fan. And again, governance is going to allow for a higher degree of short-term rentals, which means more competition. There would be more people competing their vacation rentals against others. But it's unlikely you're going to have to worry about regulation forcing you to stop doing that activity. So that's a positive outcome. Now let's move one more town up, one more significant town, La Jolla, California. La Jolla is where a lot of the ultra wealthy that work in San Diego live, because it's close by. It's only 15-20 minutes away from San Diego, close to the airport, but has unbelievable vistas, beautiful cliffside homes, high-end shopping, incredible dining and restaurants, and beautiful homes. It's got stunning real estate there, and very expensive. There's places you can get in for a couple million and places you can get in for 20, 30, 40 million. That is the extent of kind of the gap that you're going to have in La Jolla, California. Premium though, it is premium, and so if you're going to be there, expect to pay, but there's a reason. The high property tax base allows them to have everything looking perfect. The city's great. It's small, not a lot of beach homes because of how it goes up the cliffs. You go from San Diego and Mission Beach, and then it kind of works its way up the cliffs and it's on top. So you have these beautiful vistas, but you actually have Torrey Pines State Park, with Torrey Pines Golf Course, home of US Open and other amazing PGA Tour events. And it's just a really remarkable place there in that area. So worth checking out. I'm sure lots of good photos will just come up showing you La Jolla. Pricey, but not expensive. I use expensive as a relative word. It's expensive compared to where you're shopping. La Jolla is one of the best places in America from a real estate perspective and to live. So real estate should be priced accordingly for that. Now, as we move north from La Jolla and we work our way up to called the military base, where we're at here in Oceanside or Carlsbad, there's lots of individual towns. Encinitas is very popular, as I mentioned. Carlsbad's very popular, and you just have tons of different offerings. You've got now some golf course communities are going to pop up inland somewhat, and you have surfing beaches, beautiful towns. Each one though has its own rules, and there's too much to cover, and there's not enough density in each of them for me to get in the deep details at this point. But if you guys give us feedback and you want me to focus on one of these towns, I'm happy to do it sometime in the future for sure, in a future video. But they're all unique, and the most important thing with these towns, is you need to come experience their culture. And I recommend this for anyone that's buying a piece of real estate. Don't just buy because I'm telling you it's cool down here. I want you to buy and invest because you've come and experienced it yourself. You've had a chance to feel it out, and you've had a chance to check it out, and now you realize you're like, wow, I thought I was going to be a Mission Beach person, but there's just a little too much activity there. I like the chillness that comes with Carlsbad, California. And so you need to understand the culture because they have their own unique aspects. And of course, when it comes to short-term rentals, you need to understand where the city council is at. Have they passed regulation related to the rentals? Are they capping the number of licenses? Are they capping the geographical regions within their cities that can allow short-term vacation rentals, which is very popular in resort towns? So you have to come down and experience it. And the neat part about it is only an hour distance between Carlsbad and San Diego. So you can come on a 2-week vacation and spend a few days in each and load up the car and spend a few days in a hotel or an Airbnb or short-term vacation rental and get a chance to experience the whole thing, which I highly recommend to do. Up here, it's a little more chill, a little more surfer style, a little more kind of laid back and relaxed because you're a little further removed from the city. Another pro would be real estate is a little more reasonably priced here. You can get ocean views or closer to the ocean. You can see with the kind of the geography in the back here, the bigger hills. So because it's not so flat like Mission Beach, if you're second row, you can't see the ocean. Here, when I say second row, is front row is the ocean, second row, third row, fourth row of homes. Here they go up the mountains, so you get a chance to have amazing views, potentially miles from the coastline. So maybe being on the ocean isn't what's important to you, but you do want to have an ocean view. Places up here are allowing for that and will give you more real estate options, which is really great. Now, when it comes to the short-term vacation rental aspect in these particular towns, again, without getting into the minutia today, reach out to us. And as I recommend in every show, is you need a solid broker who knows their stuff. We've worked with lots of brokers in Southern California, and they don't even know the rules related to all the individual cities because they're constantly evolving and changing. So you really want to find a pro. You really want to find someone who knows their stuff. And if they don't know it, they know how to shake the trees and get the information. They know how to go find where city council's at in Encinitas, California, and they need to know what they're going to be doing in terms of governing and regulating vacation rentals so that when you buy, you are not prevented from doing what you intended to do with the home to begin with. So this is one of our biggest things, our biggest asks. Advice at Luxor's Group. We can help make connections for you in these areas. There's just too much information to be an expert in everything. Even for ourselves, there's just so many different towns, but we are connected with the experts and we're happy to use our contacts to give them to you so you can help make informed decisions on where you want to be in this area. Now, overall, Southern California, it's a treat to be. As you can see, the sun here is shining on my face, and it's going to be a hot one today, so we're going to get out. I got to catch an airplane in a few hours from now. Wanted to shoot this video today. This is an amazing place to be. You are going to pay more on a price per square foot for a piece of real estate here. You're going to pay more operating costs because the property taxes are higher, but paying more doesn't necessarily mean bad investment. You'll likely be able to rent it for higher, and you're also, if this is the type of lifestyle you're looking for, you're going to get more enjoyment out of it. I always say to people, it's this weight, especially when you're buying something for investment purposes, it's a scale. You have to decide, am I investing more for lifestyle? Like I just want a place I'm going to love, or do I need a place that's going to make money, or combination? Most people who watch this show are looking for a combination. They're looking to love it and enjoy it, but they also want to rent it, or they just want to make sure it has strong capital appreciation potential. So for you, I think of Southern California, I'm thinking heavy lifestyle. This is a place that's a remarkable place to be. You've got great airlift, easy to access. You've got perfect weather. You got all the right things going for you, but can still be a really strong financial investment if you're looking at it through the right lens, armed with the right tools, working with the right people. So reach out to us if you have any questions. I hope this gave you a better rundown. I showed you some kind of this neat part of the world. It's very, very special. I've got to run now and get back to Canada here on an airplane here shortly. So grateful for your time today. If you found any information here interesting, valuable, I've asked before, share it, subscribe, like, comment, whatever. Just do anything, just one nugget. It's our fee for doing this. Sharing is the most important for us, though. And being perfectly honest, share it with someone who thinks they could find this interesting, and go back and watch some other videos and like and comment on those as well. We want your feedback to determine what type of content we should be putting out for you over the coming weeks and months as we're continuing to produce weekly shows. So that's it. Bye for now. Thank you again for your time, and we'll catch you later.